सगळे आमचे CCR TV पळयणाऱ्यांक माय मोगाचो येवकार. आनीक एक एपिसोड इज पॉलिटिक्स ए नोबल प्रोफेशन हें सांगपाक आमचे मदें एक व्हडलो पॉलिटिशियन गोंयचो आसा जो पॉलिटिशियन मिनिस्टर जाल्लो आसा, पावर मिनिस्टर आदलो, एनवायरनमेंट, प्रिंटींग प्रेस आनीक तेन्ना पळय तो मिनिस्टर आसलो कितें काम तेणें केलां आनी आयज कितें चलता तें तो आमकां म्हायती दितलो. तर तो जावन आसा सद्याक वर्किंग प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ द गोवा प्रदेश काँग्रेस कमिटी आनी ही जॉयन पॉलिटिक्स इन द यंग डेज एज यूथ. आनी म्हत्वाचें म्हणटा तें एकूच पार्टी तांणी आयडियोलॉजी प्रिंसिपल धरून आयज पर्यंत तो तेच पार्टीक आसा. तर पयलो रावंड तो जिखलेलो आसा. पयलो रावंड जिखलेलो आसा म्हणजे कितें, ताका पार्टी टिकेट मेळलेली आहा. आतां फुडलें झूज पळया कशें वयता तें आनी कितें जाता तें. तर CCR TVच्या नांवान आमी बाब Aleixo Sequeira माय मोगाचो येवकार. Nice to have you here. Despite your busy schedule, you are already meeting
I have
voters.
I have to thank you all for giving me a chance to come on your channel.
I have talked to several people in the village that you reside especially, and they highlighted two good things about you. And one is employment, that you provided employment. And one of them told me he is one of those who never took even one single paisa from them, unlike what we see now, and you know what is the present situation. The other good thing that they have spoken to me about you is the power supply and underground cabling. I am sure you have a vision this time because you did not contest the last elections. And what made you now to come back?
At the outset, I will talk about employment. Employment and unemployment. You see, I believe each and every parent is anxious about the future of his or her child. And I think the least I could do for my voters, for my supporters, people who have stood after me for 4 elections. Yes, I lost my 5th election. But the least I could do was to help their children to get government employment. With government employment, I believe it was, coincidentally, I was power minister. But with that job, I also brought light into that house. Because I feel that once parents see their children standing on their 2 feet, that much responsibility decreases, that much tension goes down. I am also a father. So I know how anxious one gets vis-a-vis the future of the children. And that is why I used my portfolios, I used my friendship with other ministers to ensure that I could give maximum employment to our youth.
Yeah, at that time I was told you never took even one
No,
pie.
I'm coming to that. I will very proudly tell you that in various portfolios that I held, we have employed around 3,000 children all over Goa, out of which around 1,200 were from my constituency. One day in the morning, some months back, I got up and I saw a banner in front of my house, put up by AAP, which read, 100% jobs for Goans. And below in finer print, it read, pay bribe and get a government job. I was disturbed seeing that, and that too in front of my house. I went to Margaon and I called a press conference. And I threw a challenge, and I stand by that challenge even today, that if any of those 3,000 children said that they have given me one naya paisa, at that time I said I will not stand for elections. Leave aside the 1,200. Till date, nobody has come. And I assure you that nobody will come to me even in future to accuse me of having taken a naya paisa. I have not done it and will not do it. I believe that today there is a lot of corruption in government. And the reason I refuse to take a naya paise from anybody is because I believe that 99% of those youths cannot afford to pay that bribe. So what do? They go and borrow money. They take private loans. And you know, private loans, the interest that they have to pay, 3, 4, 5% per month is what is being paid. That young chap sits on his chair once he's got a government job. And the only thing he has in his head, how do I repay that loan? So to repay that loan, I believe this is where corruption starts.
I have a live example with me of a person who paid so much money for being an RTO sub-inspector or anything. And when he told the relevant minister, it's too big an amount, the minister replied to him, no, I will post you at Molem check post and you'll make up this money overnight.
No, that is true. That's why I said, you see, today, I believe our first fight should be against corruption. At some stage, we have to try and ensure that we clean the setup. And the only way we can clean the setup is by ourselves being an example.
The corruption has reached such limits today that even our previous governor, Satyapal Malik, he told the media there was corruption in everything that this government did, and he was talking about mishandling of the COVID pandemic. I probed the matter and informed the Prime Minister about it. But they asked the same people who were busy in corruption about the allegations. I was removed for my allegation of corruption against the Goa government. This is quote and unquote from former governor Satyapal Malik. If the governor goes to the extent to say that there is open corruption, where are we heading?
I don't think we required our ex-governor's statement. You ask the youth of today. You go through the newspapers. Everybody is talking about High Court having is intervening in this scam, that scam and all that. So I think everybody knows what is happening. But I also believe, having said that, as much as the politician is the sinner, the giver is also wrong.
Yeah, you need two.
Both are parties to it. Both are parties. So we have to pull up our socks and decide what is the future we want for Goa.
But as what we are seeing now, people changing the parties in the morning to evening from 1 day or 2 days, people have lost any good hopes of good governance.
See, I think you are primarily referring to Congress party. Because unfortunately, of the MLAs elected, of the 17 elected, I'm not talking of the recent, but in the past, 13 people went the other side.
Yes.
I believe that the Congress erred in selection of its candidates. I believe the Indian National Congress has realized, we admit we have erred, we have committed mistakes in selecting the candidates. And I think the Congress party, having learned from its mistakes, has this time embarked to ensure, number one, that none of the defectors have got tickets. I think he's my friend, Reginald Lawrence, but he too was denied entry into the party. So I think this time we mean business. This time we have selected candidates who we believe will not jump. And I have a request to the voters at large. Give us a majority. See, they may say that we want power. But I will give you an example. Between the year 2007 and 2012, we had a majority. There was no defection. The problems of defection start when they see no chance of government formation. Because everybody, unfortunately, is hungry. So give us a clear mandate, and I assure you there will be no defection whatsoever.
What you said has been also established by the Association of Democratic Rights, that in the last 5 years alone, an astonishing 27 out of 40 state legislators in Goa switched parties. That's about 67%, and this is the unique record. It has never happened anywhere else in India.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. The only thing is, in those seats mentioned by ADR, I think we have to differentiate two things. One is the defector, and the second is the category of people who have resigned from their party and then joined another party. Let us take Michael Lobo and company. Michael Lobo has joined the Congress party today. He has gone on record saying that BJP is not the party that it was. So he has, from within, he has seen what is happening. From within, he has seen that it is not a happy situation for our people. And that is why I assume better sense prevailed. And he has joined the Congress party because he and his followers have seen that Congress is the party, Congress is the only solution for Goa.
This was proved in the last elections in 2017 when you won 17 seats. But who came into power was the BJP with 13. But the vote share of BJP at that time was 32%, and your vote share was about 25 or 26. With the present scenario, people are not also too happy with BJP. So many dissensions, people are leaving. Let us presume, not exact figure, from 36, maybe say 25. And from your 26, let us say it is 20. Now, your 20 vote, will it remain only with you because so many other parties have come into Goa?
You see, I think the voters are wise. See, many parties have come. We've got Trinamool Congress, or TMC as it is known. We've got Aam Aadmi Party. We've got RG Party. Okay. Now, I believe that they won't win any seats. But yes, they will damage the Congress.
Yeah, because it's majority of your vote of the Congress.
They are fighting only ours.
Yes.
I think TMC, for example, is very clear. They say they've come to finish BJP. But whom have they admitted in their party? It's only congressmen. So they are definitely not here to finish BJP, but they are here to clean us up. They are here to split our votes. End of the day, we are fighting for the same vote bank. So the question of them coming to finish BJP doesn't arise. You tell me, which BJP leader have they been able to take in their midst? Nobody. So where is the question of fighting up BJP? Next, they've come with so many freebies. I would request Madam Mamata Banerjee, implement it in West Bengal. Give it to your people there first. You are Chief Minister of the state. Here to dish out all these freebies, you have to form a government, you have to get 21 MLAs. I challenge them to be able to form a government. He talks of 100% employment to Goans. Tell him to go to Delhi and, is there no unemployment in Delhi? Provide jobs to the people there, then come and tell us. They are all coming with you see, freebies. And I think the situation is such, even yesterday the Supreme Court of India has come out with a statement expressing concern about all these freebies during election time. AAP put up a hoarding at Verna saying what, when our government comes, we will send people free of cost to Valankani by train. We will send people to Ajmer. We will Muslims to Ajmer, Hindus to Shirdi. I have sent 3 consecutive years trains, one train per year, to Valankani. I have sent so many of our Hindu brethren to Shirdi, and so many Muslims to, though it was small amount, to Ajmer also. I have sent, but I have not gone around putting even a damn banner saying that I've sent these trains or I will send these trains. Here they put hoardings all over. What do they think, that Goans on the road? That Goans are begging, they require them to send us for our religious compulsions?
So the present scenario is what we are seeing. From
I
all these
believe
parties.
that there will be nothing. They may only help BJP. They will only split the Congress vote, and thus help BJP.
But there is no possibility of getting the voters educated on all these issues, because ultimately
Boss,
it's the voter who decides.
I think, yes, we will try our bit, and I think it is media, channels like yours, who have to educate the voter. Many a voter is confused.
They are totally confused.
Many a voter is confused, and that is why we should. It is our responsibility to clarify and bring people together.
Yeah, like what you said, free pilgrimage.
It's rubbish.
What is the intention behind it?
No, it is only, you see, they think we Goans are gullible, that we will fall to all these freebies. The Goans are wise, our voters are wise.
There's another thought process that all this what is happening, especially from 1990, is because of the sharks that have come and taking over the land of Goa and conversion of agricultural land.
It is like this. If you want a very honest opinion, I own a plot of land. It is agriculture. If I want to sell it tomorrow, I get peanuts. If I can convert that land to residential or anything else, my rate automatically goes up. I believe, you see, we are all from middle income families, we are not rich. And therefore, I think we look at land as a security. So if I can get something better for my land, why not? This is our thinking. And that is why you would have noted that whenever a regional plan is being drawn and comments, suggestions are called for, you will get thousands of applications requesting to change somebody's zone. So I think it is basically that pushes us to seek change of zone. In the confusion, yes, sharks come and offer us money.
That is the real problem. That's what they
By
say.
today's standards, that money is big. But we don't realize that if we hold back that land, tomorrow we'll get even higher, its value will increase even more. So I believe that this is one reason is because our youth are frustrated. Our youth look at Europe as hope. And to me, the solution to this is to ensure that our youth get jobs here in Goa.
Yeah, but when you talk about employment for the youth, do you think our university and colleges are preparing for what is needed industrially?
I am committing to my voters in Nuve constituency that I will try my best to ensure that our education setup, our education, the quality of education is improved. Times have changed. Just a graduation degree is not enough for a job.
It makes no sense if you ask me.
It makes no
BCom,
job. Nothing, no meaning to that. I think the time has come when you should want to specialize in whatever, you have to excel in whatever you're doing. There is no question of graduation. To hell with that. The time has also come when you see, even if I become a carpenter, or I become a plumber, I become an electrician, there is so much of demand. We don't have to go abroad. But unfortunately, there is no respect for manpower. There is no respect for labor here.
But you do the same or worse in Europe, and
But there I don't know you. You see, you may be doing various types of jobs. Like I had a gentleman who came to my house today. He's at Heathrow Airport. What is his job there? Maintaining, he's a supervisor. But he says, primarily, I am ensuring the place is neat. So, I'm sure ask the guy to do it here, he may not be willing to.
even some at their own homes.
There is no dignity of labor here, boss. The basic problem, there is no dignity of labor.
So, do you think that you need a new vision for the youth unemployment and industries?
I think that is the only way we can control this migration of our youth to Europe. Otherwise, all will go. In fact, today the situation has come, if you ask me honestly, where parents are struggling, children are in Europe. And if you ask me, one of the most important requirements of the moment right now are home for the aged. Because our parents are there, and it is very painful to see that they will try and save each and every naya paise for their children who may never want to come back.
Most of them they will not. Sometimes they come once you are dead and they'll not be
That's
able
it.
to.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
very,
That
very
is true.
tragic.
It is
You have been
terrible.
appointed as the working president. You were in the opposition, not you, your party,
party.
was there. But you lacked a good orator in the assembly. Just like, if you remember, it was Parikar who pinned all of you, Congress, down with his oratorial skills and
I
all
don't
that.
think he pinned us, boss. I think he is. Parikar was a friend of mine. Let me start with that. I think he has taken the Goan for a ride. You'll ask me how. He convinced everybody that there was a 35,000 crore mining scam. He assured that he would take action, blah, 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 if he came to power. Unfortunately, we were not in a position to convince the voter that this charge of his was bogus. He came to power, he appointed chartered accountants, he appointed various committees. And then they came to the conclusion that it was not a 35,000 crore scam. It was something like 2,000, 3,000 or something like that. Then further, BJP did some more investigation or study. And if I'm not mistaken, they ultimately came down to a couple of hundreds. Number one, Mr. Manohar Parrikar was the leader of the Public Accounts Committee. If you look minutely, every Public Accounts Committee chairman is from the opposition. So this man, as chairman of the committee, got that report prepared, is supposed to have got the report prepared, gave the impression to public that he has submitted this report to the assembly, this, that. But the truth is, recently, Mr. Digambar Kamath has got in writing from the secretariat that there has never been a report submitted to the assembly. So that means this was all a fraud played on the common man.
But the common man accepted it.
Because the common man believed Manohar Parrikar was telling the truth.
Yeah, because in the assembly, whatever he was saying, it went to the masses very well. And the masses just loved it.
That is what I'm saying, no? We were not in a position to convince the masses or the voters that it is not what he was saying. Unfortunately, they did not trust us at all. And that is why they believed what he said.
But overall feeling...
You know, I tell you, I had a nice experience with Mr. Parrikar. One day he accused me of having paid too much for a bulb. So after the session, I went to him. And I said, boss, you have said that you can get this bulb for 300 rupees, whilst I have paid 800 rupees. I said, can you help me get the bulb? He said, no, you can't get it for 300. I said, then why did you make that charge? He says, I'm in the opposition. He says, it's my right to charge you. It is your duty to defend yourself. So this was my good friend Manohar Parrikar.
No, that's what I say. If during this last few years that you were there as an opposition, there was no strong voice, and therefore people said the leadership is lackluster.
People said, you see, it is one thing to sit from outside and observe, and it's one thing to be there itself. First problem was, if I may say, from 17 we have come down only to 2. Having come down to 2, what am I trying to say? You can see the loyalty of those individuals toward the party. So I think this may be one of the factors, that is why we did not really have a voice, if at all it was needed.
So you know now who are the others in the Congress who are going to contest the elections. Do you have the hope that if elected, they will remain with you all?
Although I think that the party has done a deep study. As I said at the beginning, we have committed mistakes. We admit our mistakes. We have learned from our mistakes. We will not repeat those mistakes. That is why they've been very cautious when selecting candidates.
There's only one fear now of the fractured mandate.
I don't believe. I personally feel that Congress is forming on its own the next government. On its own means along with our alliance partner. We will form the next government.
You feel so, very strongly.
100%. I can assure you we will form the next government.
We wish you all the best and we hope your dreams come true and we'll see you after the elections.
This is not a dream. I'm telling you, it will be a reality. I will meet you.
We will, definitely we will.
You and I will sit down and
we will.
celebrate.
All the best,
Thank
all
you.
the best
Thank you. Thank you.
and wish you
Thank you.
all the best.
I only would like to appeal to our voters. O Paudi, Congress बरोबर रावन आमी गोंया एक बरो काँग्रेस सरकार घडोवन हाडया. सरकार घडोवन हाडपाक तुमचे हातीन आसा. तुमी आमचे फाटल्यान रावले जाल्यार आमी तुमचे पासत सदांच वावुरपाक मुखार आसतले.
The voter is the king ultimately.
100%.
They should decide to vote the right
No, there are so many issues. Can I take another 2
Yeah,
minutes?
sure.
You see, there are so many issues. I remember the youth were assured. Petrol will be available at 60 rupees a litre. We will not increase the price. Today, if I'm not mistaken, we are paying something like 98 rupees a litre.
Almost 100.
Almost 100. Take that poor housewife. During the Congress regime, she never paid more than 450 rupees for a gas cylinder. Today, she's paying 900 and odd rupees. How did Mr. Parikar assure that he was going to give petrol at 60 rupees? At that time, the real price was around 70, 71 rupees, if I'm not mistaken. He reduced VAT on petrol and he gave that benefit to the youth. We have been demanding from this government, reduce VAT. If I'm not mistaken, they are getting something like 30, 37% VAT income. Reduce that, give that benefit to the common man. The other day reduced 5 rupees. But that's it. On the eve of reducing those 5 rupees, they increased the price further and then they've given the reduction. They're playing with the public.
So you pay them in the same coin now to say that that is what they said then. We are saying we will be doing much more.
100% we will do more. 100%. We are sensitive to the needs of the people.
Because this, what people say is the government is very insensitive.
The BJP government.
Yes.
But I will tell you another thing. During our time, tell me if you heard of people being, desperate. Today there is a lot of desperation. We saw what happened during COVID. All these factors have damaged. So we are alive. We are going to try our best to ensure that we bring those good old days during the Congress regime back to Goa.
Thank you, Mr. Aleixo, very much. I wish you all the best.
I have to thank you for giving me a chance to come on your channel. Thank
We
you
needed
very
to
much.
give.
Thank
You
you.
needed to
Thank
give.
you.
Thank you.